These next two fights are what I'm going to be most interested in for this fight card. And we're going to start off with a banger here. This is going to be probably fight of the night candidate. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Let's look at the odds. So we have Oliveira minus 240, open up at a minus 300. I've been going back and forth with this fight. Um, Ultimately, I think I'm going to pick Michael Chandler. Maybe that's the simp in me, right? I feel like I've been simping for this guy for a bit. No Diddy. But Chandler just has all of the tools that you would look for to try to beat a fighter most of the time, right? Because his explosiveness is just crazy. I mean, he's been in every one of these fights. I picked him against DP. In retrospect, that was a pretty bad pick, I think, because DP's like probably the perfect guy to beat him. Um, and in this fight, I mean, the reason why I'm picking him over Oliveira is that both these guys thrive in chaos. And I think that the opening lines for this fight, for the first fight, because this is a rematch, we saw that Michael Chandler was a plus 115, right? I feel like it's going to be more so a 50-50 fight. And I think that the odds on this fight, just because he beat him once, that's probably what is steaming the line that way for Charles Oliveira. But I think that should be closer to 50-50. I think that plus 205 is actually pretty disrespectful price on Michael Chandler. So I'm going to go with the value here. Oliveira, he strikes, doesn't tend to move his head. He gets rocked in every fight as well. Chandler gets rocked in every fight as well. We saw that the grappling for Charles Oliveira in that first round, their first fight, kind of was negated, right? Because like Chandler's just such a beast in that first round. He had his back taken, but he just exploded out of there, and he won that first round pretty convincingly. Now in the next round, he got caught because Charles Oliveira is he's like a really interesting mix of a technical striker but a brawler in a way. And that's where you can give Michael Chandler issues, is that if you catch him really clean, he tends to just have no defense and he can get rocked himself, get KO'd himself. So that is the worry with playing Michael Chandler, is that this guy could also get KO'd at any point. But I also think that Charles Oliveira can also get KO'd at any point. I think this matchup is probably going to end up in a KO from what I see. Probably within 2 rounds, like just like the last fight. Also, just in terms of the motivation factor, I think that this is truly Chandler's last chance at any kind of championship fight, money fight, any of those things. I think that he sees that, you know, the McGregor fight is probably not going to happen. I think that he is now pivoted to, looking for the championship for that next money fight. And Charles Oliveira is the roadblock for those goals, right? Charles Oliveira has been a champion before. I'm not saying that he's less motivated now to win the championship, because it would be awesome to be a 2-time champ like Izzy, right? Like a 3-time champ like Izzy. Try to be a 3-time champ, I think. But I think that Charles Oliveira, I feel like Chandler's going to be the hungry guy here. I really do. I think that this is going to be his career on the line in the UFC, at least, for any kind of title aspirations, any kind of big money plays. So he's been training. Think about this. He's been training nonstop for like 2+ years to rip Conor McGregor's head off. I think he's going to manifest all of that energy, all of that hatred, anger into trying to, in his words, separate Charles Oliveira from consciousness. And yeah, I think that we're going to get the best Michael Chandler that we've seen. I mean, I normally don't like backing fighters off of 2-year layoffs, but in this case, if you guys just look at the pictures, I mean, Chandler is a guy that I don't think you need to worry about a layoff, because he fights the same way each time. He doesn't rely on like that timing, the rhythm, like that most fighters do. He's just a straight up beast, like physical beast, just wills his way through fights, straight up brawls. So I don't think he's going to need any of that. I think he's just going to rely on what has got him here. And I think this time he's going to finish Oliveira. So give me Michael Chandler here. I actually think he's a decent dog play, minus 200, minus 205. So yeah, might not be the most popular pick, but I'm riding with Michael Chandler for the co-main event to shock the world.